today. Former NEF spokesman says President Tinubu has failed to improve quality of life. Senate to institutionalize June 12 presidential address. Saraki panel meets Makinde on PDP crisis. On the foreign scene, mass arrest in Los Angeles as police enforce nighttime curfew. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele with the news. Barring last-minute changes, the House of Representatives will today conduct a budget defense on the 1.481 trillion naira proposed for Rivers State for the 2025 fiscal year. The budget proposal passed through second reading on the floor of the House on 28 May and referred to the Ihombere-led ad hoc committee for further legislative action. The proposed budget defense is being organized by the ad hoc committee on Rivers State Oversight, chaired by Mr. Julius Ihombere. Rivers State Sole Administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ibas, is expected to make a formal presentation to the ad hoc committee. Recall that President Bola Tinubu had, on 22nd May, formally requested the House's approval for the sum of 1.481 trillion naira as the 2025 budget proposal for Rivers State. A breakdown of the proposed budget shows that the sum of 324 billion naira is allocated for infrastructure covering both ongoing and new projects. 166 billion naira is earmarked for health, including 5 billion naira for free drugs for the treatment of malaria and other common ailments. A total of 75.6 billion naira is allocated for education and 31.4 billion naira is proposed for agriculture, alongside other spending plans prioritizing investment in critical sectors of the state. Moving on now, as Nigeria prepares to mark 26 years of uninterrupted democracy on June 12, some residents of Port Harcourt are only hoping for the restoration of democracy in their own backyard. Now, as you may know, Democracy Day is a public holiday in Nigeria. Commemorating the restoration of democratic governance. It marks the anniversary of the historic June 12, 1993 presidential election, widely regarded as Nigeria's freest and fairest poll, which was annulled by the military regime at the time. But in Rivers State, the spirit of democracy appears to be under strain. The state has been under a state of emergency for the past 2 months following a political fallout that saw the elected governor, Siminalayi Fubara, and his cabinet placed on suspension by President Bola Tinubu in response to escalating tensions. And this unusual development has sparked concerns among residents, some of whom believe it undermines democratic principles. Speaking to our correspondent, a number of Port Harcourt residents say they are hoping President Tinubu's Democracy Day address will bring an end to the state of emergency and restore normal democratic governance in the state. Others have voiced disapproval over the sole administrator addressing the people on behalf of the state on Democracy Day. Now, they argue that such a move does not reflect the democratic values Nigeria is meant to be celebrating on June 12.
I'm expecting the governor to come back that day so that every Rivers man, civil servant, they will rejoice. But let's see whether that day will come to stay.
We plead God and the government in place to return back our governor, Siminalayi Fubara, to the states. Reason because the state is like a dormant place.
Are we in democracy? We are not in democracy. We are in a military. How can we have elected government? They come and move elected government and bring caretaker because of political interest. Address what? They cannot address us because they are not elected. We want our own person to come and address us. We come now for democracy to enjoy that we are suffering, or we are coming now for democracy, things has changed.
So when Solar Administrator addressing, what will he tell the people? He doesn't have anything to tell the people. Go to touch the president as he wake up in the morning to do his broadcast. The first thing should be that fellow Nigerian lift the band of state of emergency in Rivers State.
In the meantime, a former political advisor to President Bola Tinubu, Mr. Hakeem Baba Ahmed, has criticized the current administration, saying it has failed to improve the quality of life of the average Nigerian and also the quality of governance. Speaking on Channels Television, Baba Ahmed, a former spokesman for the Northern Elders Forum, NEF, said the Tinubu administration has failed expectations that it was going to radically improve the quality of governance. He said The removal of the petrol subsidy by the Tinubu government has significantly impacted the quality of life for average Nigerians. He said the president should increase accountability and governance across the 3 tiers of government. The Senate says it is considering a legislative move to institutionalize a presidential address every June 12 in recognition of the day's historical significance. The leader of the Senate, Opeyemi Bamidele, disclosed this in an interview with reporters on Tuesday, stating that the Senate is hoping to prepare a bill to formalize the president's speech to the nation on that day. In another development, a PDP youth leader, Charles Omini, has described the concerned stakeholders meeting convened by FCT Minister Nyesom Wike as deliberate moves to impose the interests of those willing to sell the party to the ruling party at the national level. Dr. Omini said this in an interview with correspondent Obi Oruwari.
There was nothing like PDP stakeholder. What you saw was just a jamboree. Did you see the national executive of the party there? The youths of this party will take back their party at the right time. We've given the elders of the party long road to draw, see how they can meet, look at ways where there will be dialogue and to rebuild the party. But all what you see everybody doing is selfish interest to their pocket. So Samuel is there because they know the game they are going to play. There's nothing like party whatever. It was just a clique of friends who came together and said, what interest are they representing?
The PDP youth leader also expressed hope that despite the prolonged internal crisis, the PDP will not sink.
PDP can't sink. Because whoever you see today in APC was raised and grown by the PDP platform politically. And write it down, you see what the APC is going to have issues because you see, this is a boat everybody is running to. They are going there with different motives, different interests. Some need ticket for 2027, some need contracts. Once those needs are not being met, the reality will play out in the next couple of months. So PDP can't sink. PDP is too big.
Meanwhile, some residents of Port Harcourt are reacting to the FCT Minister Nyesom Wike's proposed plan to shut down 34 foreign embassies in Abuja over unpaid ground rent. This followed the directive issued by the minister on May 26th, ordering enforcement action on over 4,000 properties in the FCT owing ground rent ranging from 10 to 43 years, which included the embassies that had defaulted. Speaking with our correspondent, a number of Port Harcourt residents said the move could be commendable only if the FCT minister employs diplomatic means in carrying out the enforcement.
Well, I believe shutting down embassies will simply create unnecessary diplomatic tensions that the country does not need. I think there are diplomatic channels the minister can go through to get the issue of ground rent payment sorted. And I think that's what we do. I think he's smart enough, he's intelligent to understand that there are paths to take to solve such impasses.
If he's not violating any international protocol, then there's nothing wrong with it because we have our laws here. I believe that they should have reached out to the embassies and the high commissions first before doing anything more serious. So I'm sure that at this moment they have not yet revoked anything. There is still the opportunity for some sort of dialogue to be had and for the issues to be resolved where necessary.
As you may know, both Serap and Senior Advocate of Nigeria, Femi Falana, have warned against such enforcement on these embassies to avoid diplomatic issues. In other news, some Port Harcourt residents are reacting to the lingering issue of hospitals refusing to treat accident victims. This follows a viral video of accident victims rescued from a car crash by a Good Samaritan and taken to Federal Medical Center FMC in Jabi in Abuja, but were allegedly refused medical attention. Speaking in an interview with our correspondent, Port Harcourt residents regretted that such an issue lingers even in 2025, even though saving lives should be top priority for all medical professionals and even ordinary citizens. Others stressed that regardless of the circumstances surrounding an accident, immediate medical attention should always come first.
It's good for them to attend to victims like that. You, the clinic, we are all trying to save Nigeria from all these evil incidents. They should attend to a patient that comes to the hospital. While attending to that patient, you like make a call to the police. I have so patient too. I'm attending to the person, but I don't have proof for it in case they are looking for something like that.
It's not okay when we say then go bring person emergency, then go abandon the person at night. Then go begin the talk say whether not the person thief or no thief. May they help us and they attend to the person to see say they save that life first before they go investigate and know what's happened.
Coming up next, police rescue teen girl abducted in Oyibo. Stay with us.
To thrive in a fast-changing world.
Tune in to 92.3 Nigeria Info. Keep your dial locked for sustainable development. This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back, and now the rest of the news. A 13-year-old girl who was abducted in Oyibo last Thursday was rescued by the C4I Intelligence Unit of the Rivers State Police Command yesterday. She was found around 6 p.m. on Tuesday in a bushy, fenced plot of land in Eche local government area where she had reportedly been held captive for days. A viral video capturing the rescue shows officers leading the visibly shaking girl out of the enclosure. Her abductors were allegedly demanding a ransom before her release. The same video shows one of the suspected kidnappers seated on the ground after his arrest, confessing to the crime during police interrogation. The police has promised to issue an official statement soon. Still on security stories, a pirate attack was averted yesterday along the waterways in River State following the swift intervention of security operatives. Chairman of the Maritime Workers Union in River State, Israel Waribo-Pepo, made this known in an interview with correspondent Mekotoka. Now, he commended the operatives and urged security agencies to maintain a consistent presence on the waterways to deter future attacks.
The boys are still trying to make their way to commit another crime. But I must have to tell you, I think the Marine Police time around are really living up to expectation. They came out this morning, and when they came out, they were chased by Marine Police. There was no report that there was no fire. The Marine Police chased them away, and they ran. So, they must find a way. If you are chasing them from this place, they will go to that place. Chase them from here, go to that way. That has always been their pattern. They will not stop until they are being arrested. The Marine Police are visible. Even yesterday that I traveled, I saw the Navy. The Navy was also patrolling. We pray that they sustain it, because if they don't sustain, it will show. It's what I saw yesterday on the waterfront, because I traveled to Bonny and I came back. So I saw them at almost all the flashpoints.
Now, this comes just 2 weeks after the Royal Fuche Security Services, also known as the Amama soldiers, rescued 19 boat passengers who were abducted by pirates along the Isaka River. Residents of Bunu community in Tai local government area of River State are gearing up for a protest on Friday, accusing the sole administrator of the state, retired Vice Admiral Ibokete Ebas, of insensitivity to their suffering. The Community Development Committee Chairman, Mr. Kingsley Kabari, tells correspondent Mekotoka that the planned protest to the government house in Port Harcourt is in response to the sole administrator's recent visit to Bunu, which he allegedly ignored victims of the erroneous Nigerian Air Force raid in the community. Kabari said the sole administrator chose to inspect abandoned project site during the visit, an action the community leader describes as deeply disappointing.
2 days ago, when the state administrator came to Bunu side, instead he to look out for this person, instead he to look out for these people who properties were destroyed. So he to also ask, what did he do about this person? What he did was to go and look for Shanghai Farm, from Shanghai Farm to Health Center and Primary School. It's unfortunate. I wept. I don't know how persons will get in human life. This people is back in the community. Because when the complaint occurred, we like he was aware of about the fact that all those who are thinking, all of them, we will straight from here to protect on Friday. So let the person, if you claim they don't understand, they didn't know what happened.
Kabari confirmed that the Nigerian Air Force has paid for the medical treatment of one of the victims, Mrs. Blessing Kabari, but insisted that the community is still demanding full compensation for all affected residents.
As of last week, the Nigeria Air Force Port Harcourt has paid the medical expenses of Blessing Kabari, my late father's wife. Now, we hope that after that man is done, they will call the persons that we can cover the expenses, the damages, so that they can compensate these persons. They are suffering.
Kabari also warned that the community will not hesitate to take legal action against the Nigerian Air Force if nothing is done to address their demands. In business, ahead of Nigeria's Democracy Day, a financial analyst, Mr. Enebi Opalowa, is asking the government to release updated data on the country's petrol consumption. He says this is key to understanding the true economic impact of petrol subsidy removal. Opalowa, who heads the Natural Resource and Climate Governance team at Budget, spoke in an interview with correspondent Constance Irialemega. He said since August 2023, no new figures have been published by the Petroleum Regulatory Authority.
Estimating volumes of in-country consumption, we may be able to make some estimates. The NMDPRA has refused to publish volume of in-country consumption since August 2023. The latest data we can find is something around the 20th of August 2023. We understand that imports have reduced drastically, but we don't have the hard numbers to back it. But we do know that the country is depending significantly on domestic production. The regulators ought to do more in ensuring that these data points are published will allow us to do our bit and our part.
Opalowa also noted that while the economy has shown growth, the cost of living remains high and the government's palliatives are not enough.
Our social protection mechanisms should have been much more stronger, or should have been deployed more effectively to ensure that Nigerians didn't feel the brunt of the petrol subsidy removals as much as we did. But we can actually see supply has improved. Generally, cost of petrol is still relatively high compared to before. Cost of living is still high, inflation is still high. It's only improved by about 8% over the last month based on the latest data from the NBS, but the inflation is still quite high and Nigerians are still feeling the heat.
The budget official dismissed insinuations that Nigeria gained $84 billion since the removal of petrol subsidies, saying the figure actually represents losses from petrol subsidies in over a decade.
Having that number as the amount of savings that we have been made from subsidy removal might just be an exaggeration. That just tells us that our subsidy bill for that 17-year period was over 84 billion. That does not equate to the savings that we may have made in just 2 years. If we look at combining data from the MTF that was released and also budget implementation report, we can actually see that the revenue generated from oil revenue and also non-oil revenue between January and August 2024 surpassed the revenue profile of the country for the entire year 2023.
Still in business, the lifespan of the capital vault component of the federal government's 2024 budget is set for extension. Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele gave this hint yesterday, saying this is necessary to ensure full implementation. He said the House will further extend the capital expenditure timeline while ensuring that the 2025 budget is fully implemented. The National Assembly, before the passage of this year's budget, extended the implementation of the capital expenditure for the 2024 budget till June 30th this year. In entertainment, fitness coach and ex-husband of media personality Tokimaki Nwa, Maji Ayida, has revealed how their messy divorce pushed him into depression and nearly ruined his life and career. In a recent testimony at a UK church that's now trending online, Maji said the public fallout from the crashed marriage left him ashamed, paranoid, jobless, and totally withdrawn from society. In sports, Brazil qualified for the 2026 World Cup with a 1-0 win against Paraguay in South American qualifying to give Carlo Ancelotti his first win as manager.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Los Angeles police say they have made mass arrest after a fifth day of protest over U.S. President Donald Trump's immigration raid. Mayor Karen Bass declared an overnight curfew within a relatively small area of the city's downtown district, saying businesses were being vandalized and looted. Elsewhere, the immigration raids that triggered the protests last Friday have continued, with deployed National Guard troops now protecting border control agents on enforcement operations.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. The Rivers Sole Administrator Ibas is expected to defend the 2025 budget proposal today. Former NEF spokesman says President Tinubu has failed to improve the quality of life of Nigerians. The Senate has moved to institutionalize June 12 presidential address. On the foreign scene, there was a mass arrest in Los Angeles as the police enforced nighttime curfew. The news was edited by Martha Okiri. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ife Chukwumoyeli. Many thanks for listening.